Burj Khalifa, the tallest building in the world. A structure for which billions of dollars were poured like water. A level of engineering the world had never witnessed before. But what was the compulsion that, even while being almost financially unstable at the time, made Dubai build it after so many years? Why can superpowers like the United States
$7 billion
and China still not build something like it? Back in the early 2000s, Dubai was already known around the world for luxury, tourism, and business. But at that time, Dubai's ruler, Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum, was thinking about a project that could place Dubai among the most famous cities on Earth. His idea was to create a global landmark that would attract tourism, investment, and media attention all at once. During this same planning phase, the downtown Dubai area was also being developed, and it was during this time that Emaar Properties, Dubai's leading real estate development company, suggested that if the world's tallest building was constructed here, the entire area could instantly become a global attraction. From this vision, the concept of Burj Khalifa was born, a building so extraordinary that it would force the entire world to look toward Dubai. Now the discussions around Burj Khalifa officially began. Initially, the project was named Burj Dubai. At that time, the tallest building in the world was Taipei 101 in Taipei, Taiwan, with an official height of 508 meters. Architects and engineers from around the world were invited, and research on the concept began. The vision of the designers and leadership was 800 meters plus, meaning a height equal to stacking almost 3 Eiffel Towers on top of each other. At that time, most of the world's tallest buildings used rectangular or twin tower style designs, but Dubai's architects and engineers decided that a simple rectangular structure or a twin tower design like Petronas would not work, because Dubai's ground conditions were far from easy. The land was sandy, and keeping such a massive and ultra-tall structure stable was a huge engineering challenge. This is where some of the world's top architects and engineers entered the scene. The design was created by an American architecture firm, and the lead architect was Adrian Smith. His vision was simple. The building should not only be tall, its design had to be intelligent. That is why the shape of Burj Khalifa was inspired by a flower, the Hymenocallis flower. This design was not just for beauty, it was also an engineering solution. The triangular structure helps break the pressure of the wind, because when a building reaches such extreme heights, the biggest enemy becomes the wind. If the design had gone wrong, strong winds could have caused the building to sway dangerously. That is why Burj Khalifa's structure becomes narrower as it rises upward. Engineers call this technique buttressed core structural system. In simple words, the building supports itself. And based on this design, engineers calculated that the safe maximum height could reach 828 meters, meaning directly 320 meters taller than Taipei 101. This height was confirmed only after simulations, wind tunnel testing, and deep foundation studies. But the real challenge was only beginning: construction. The construction of Burj Khalifa officially started in 2004, and the very first step was the foundation. Now just imagine, what level of support would be needed underground to hold a building of this size? Engineers drilled 192 massive piles deep into the ground. These piles went nearly 50 meters underground, which means the building's base was literally locked inside the earth itself. So much concrete was used in the foundation that if a road were built from it, it could circle around a quarter of the world. And then the vertical construction began. From this point onward, the speed of the project started surprising the world. At peak times, more than 12,000 workers were working on the construction site, but the problems were no less massive. Major challenge was extreme heat. Dubai's temperature sometimes reached up to 50 degrees Celsius. Managing concrete in such heat was extremely difficult. If concrete dried too quickly, cracks could start appearing. The engineers solved this problem smartly. The concrete was poured during the night, and ice was even mixed into it to keep the temperature controlled. It was an unusual technique, but it worked. Then came the next challenge: height. Once the building crossed 500 meters, normal cranes around the world could no longer operate at that level. So special high-climbing cranes were installed that kept rising alongside the building itself. There was even a time when crane operators were working above cloud level, meaning when they started work in the morning, the entire city could be seen beneath them. Another interesting fact is that so much concrete was used in Burj Khalifa that its total weight equals the weight of nearly 100,000 elephants. And enough steel was used to build the Golden Gate Bridge 4 to 5 times over. Construction was moving incredibly fast. But then, in 2008, the global financial crisis began. The real estate market started crashing. Projects across Dubai were also slowing down. And the world started believing that perhaps the Burj Khalifa project would also be delayed, or even stopped completely. But this is where an unexpected turn came. The project received financial support from Abu Dhabi. And at that moment, the building's name was changed from Burj Dubai to Burj Khalifa, named after UAE President Sheikh Khalifa bin Zayed Al Nahyan. This support gave the project new momentum. And instead of slowing down, construction became even faster. Then another challenge arrived, one that kept engineers worried for a long time: wind pressure. The higher the building rose, the more unpredictable the wind pressure became. Wind tunnel experiments were carried out for testing. Hundreds of simulations were performed, and the design was adjusted again and again. That is exactly why the shape of Burj Khalifa appears irregular. And finally, construction was completed, and Burj Khalifa officially became the tallest building in the world. Burj Khalifa is not just a building. It is an engineering marvel and a practical laboratory. Inside it are many fascinating things that most people probably do not know. If you are standing on the top floors of Burj Khalifa, you can actually watch the sunset twice in a single day. Yes, when the sun sets at ground level, the same sunset becomes visible a little later from the top floors, because the building is so tall that the lighting and horizon perspective above are completely different. The elevators inside Burj Khalifa are among the fastest elevators in the world. They travel at nearly 10 meters per second, allowing you to cross dozens of floors within seconds. Which means the vertical travel experience itself feels like an adventure. And on the top floors, the temperature can be nearly 6 degrees Celsius lower than ground level, meaning a mini climate difference exists inside the same building. The glass panels of Burj Khalifa were specially designed to reflect heat and maintain energy efficiency. If normal glass had been used, the building could practically have turned into a giant oven. Many of you have probably seen Dubai's shows or New Year celebration videos where animations run across the entire building. This is actually Burj Khalifa's advanced LED facade system. More than 1.2 million LED lights are installed on the tower, turning the entire structure into a giant digital screen. If all of these LED strips were connected in a straight line, their total length would reach nearly 33 kilometers, meaning almost the same distance as placing 314 football fields in one straight line. That is why at night, Burj Khalifa no longer feels like just a building. It transforms into a live show screen. And because of this, whenever a major event takes place in Dubai, people specifically gather to watch these light shows. And when it comes to maintenance, a special system is used to clean the building, where maintenance platforms move across the exterior structure. Cleaning the entire tower takes nearly 3 to 4 months, and this work is completed safely despite the extreme heights and weather conditions. Burj Khalifa is so tall that lightning sometimes strikes the building directly. But because of its advanced lightning protection system, the structure remains safe, meaning the design is not just a masterpiece of height, but also of safety and resilience. Now, one question comes into almost everyone's mind. Even after so many years, why has Burj Khalifa's record still not been broken? Why are America, China, and other countries not building something even taller? Basically, constructing a skyscraper as tall as Burj Khalifa is not just a challenge of height. It is the perfect combination of engineering, finance, and planning. In buildings above 800 meters, managing wind pressure, foundation stability, elevators, and safety systems becomes insanely complex, and the cost rises into billions of dollars. Money alone is not enough. Not every city has real demand for a building this tall, which is why developers usually avoid taking such a massive risk. Some ambitious projects like Jeddah Tower were planned, with a proposed height of 1,000 meters, meaning 1 full kilometer tall, around 172 meters taller than Burj Khalifa. This building was officially supposed to become the world's first structure taller than 1 kilometer. But due to financial and construction delays, it still has not been completed. And that is why even today, Burj Khalifa is not just a building. It has become a global icon and a symbol of engineering that continues to inspire the world.